Moving both of our work and our training indoors is giving our body less of an opportunity to move. So today we're going to take you through a full body flexibility routine that's going to help improve your posture and get you moving better at the upper back and the hips particularly. So what we're going to start you out with is one just to open up the chest, just a nice gentle one. I'm going to get you to come onto your bum, feet hip width apart. We're going to roll the chest open by rolling the shoulders back, sort of think over the hill and down again with your palms facing backwards. Once we're in this position, I want you to move your bum further away from your hands, drilling your hands hard into the ground and opening up through the chest. What we're looking for there is just a nice gentle stretch across the chest and down the bicep. So we're just going to hold that open for a couple more seconds, just drilling the hands in, pushing the shoulders down, and just remembering to breathe through the stretch if you can. Next up, we're going to take you through one to warm up the hips. We're going to start in a 90-90 position. So what I'll get you to do is sit at the edge of your mat, feet slightly wider than hip width apart. We're going to keep ourselves nice and tall through the body, and then what we want to do is we're going to drop both of our knees down to the left side. And then rotate them across to the other side. So what we're working through here is internal and external rotation through the hips. Really good hip opener. Sinking the knees down to the ground and back. And we're going to go one more to each side, breathing out, sinking the knees down, breathing in, breathe out and dropping to the opposite side. Next, we're going to take you through one for your shoulders. Really good for opening up range through the upper back as well as improving your posture. I want you to come into a tall kneeling position. Keeping tall through the body, we're going to bring our fists up and in line with our chest. I want you to drive the fists up into the air, opening the arms, breathing out. You're going to pull the shoulders and all of your back muscles down towards your bum. Rounding back through and into the start, breathing in, opening up, breathing out. Breathing in, driving the arms up, opening up the chest, breathing out, sinking all of your back muscles and your shoulders down towards your bum. 2 more. Next, we're going to come down lying onto our right side of the body. You're going to want to use a pillow or a block or something similar to support the neck. Laying on your right side, right hand out in front. You're going to bring your knees up to 90 degrees. From here, we're going to stack the left hand on top of the right. And just take a big deep breath in as we round the hand up and above the head. Once your arm is in line with your face, I want you to open the palm up towards the ceiling and then slowly breathing out, dropping the shoulder down towards the ground with your arms in line, feeling that stretch through the front of the chest, and we're going to slowly follow the hand back around the body and to the starting position. Breathing in. Opening the palm, breathing out. And sinking that left shoulder to the ground. Throughout, we want to keep the hips stable. Try not to let the lower back round around with you. On this third one, we're going to take it around. Breathing out. And we're going to hold that position there, dropping that left shoulder down towards the ground and really feeling that open up through the chest there on the left. Let's take it across to the other side. This time laying down onto your left side. Left arm out in front. Knees up to 90 degrees. And right hand on top of the left. Breathing in. Breathing out, sinking into that right shoulder. Tracing the arm back around the body. Breathing in. Dropping that right shoulder towards the ground. And circling it back to the start. Again, on this last one, we're going to hold the stretch there for about 10 seconds. Holding there, really feeling it open up through the front of that right chest there. From there, we're going to remove the block and I'm going to get you to lay onto your back. I want you to start by taking your feet hip width apart and about a hand's width away from your glutes. And then from here, I'm going to get you to take your left heel and place it slightly wider than the body. If you're using a mat, think about it as on the outside of your mat. We're going to take the right heel, placing it up and onto the left knee. From here, what we want to do is just keep that right hip on the ground, grab the right knee and pull it in towards that left shoulder. We're looking for a nice stretch through that right glute as you pull it across the body line. Breathing out, see if you can sink the knee a little bit closer towards the shoulder. We're going to swap sides. This time taking the right foot slightly wider than the mat or slightly wider than your body and bringing that left ankle up onto the right knee. We're going to grab the left knee, keeping the left hip on the ground and pulling that left knee across the body line towards the right shoulder. Again, looking for a stretch through the glute there. With each out breath, you can look at bringing the knee closer towards the opposite shoulder just to intensify the stretch. From here, we're going to take it into a 4-point position. So what we want to do is we want to set up those knees underneath your hips and have your wrists stacked underneath your shoulders. We're going to take you into the cat-cow stretch, which is a really great one for just working on that mobility through the neck, shoulders and spine. So as we take a breath in, we're going to breathe in, dropping the abdomen towards the ground, lifting the chest to the wall in front. Breathe out, pressing the hands into the ground, pulling the abdomen towards the ceiling and rounding through the upper back. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'll take you through 3 more. From here, we're going to take the knees nice and wide, stretching back, dropping our hips down towards our heels and into the child's pose. We're going to take a bit of that cat curl movement and we're going to move it into the dynamic stretch where we take ourselves from the child's pose, round through the upper back, carrying the body through and dropping the chest and the stomach onto the ground. And from here, we're going to press up into cobra. For some of you, that might just be here as your full range of extension. For others, we might be here, or you may be right up. but what you want to focus on is keeping those hips on the ground. From here, we're going to round the back through and into child's pose again. Pulling your hips away from your arms, feeling that stretch through the upper body. We're going to round the upper back, flowing through, flat onto the ground, pressing up and into our cobra, just to where you feel comfortable. I'm going to take you through one more flow, so big breath in, rounding the upper back, flowing through and onto your front. Breathing out, pressing into that cobra. From here, we're going to take it into opening up our hip. So I'm going to get you to take it into a half kneeling position, knees at 90. We want to squeeze that left glute to open up through the hip. To avoid extending that through your back, I want you to think about bringing the hip bones up towards your rib cage and squeezing the glute to really open up through the front of the hip flexor there. From here, we're going to drive that right knee over the third toe. Still squeezing that left glute to open up through the left hip. We're going to shoot the bum back, driving the heel into the ground and toes up towards you. I want you to try and keep a nice straight back. We want to avoid rounding into this position. If you're struggling with the balance or the flexibility with it, you might want to bring in one of your blocks so that you can rest your hands against there. Driving forward, knee over third toe, shooting the bum back, pressing the heel into the ground and toes up towards you. And one more, driving forward, shooting the bum back, chest up tall, toes up towards you. From here, we're going to take both our hands forward and in line with that right foot. What we're going to look at doing is opening up through that right external hip. Level 1 for here would be just lightly pulsing that knee out to the side, keeping tall through the chest. We're looking to feel that stretch along here, along that outside of your hip. If you want to take that through and into level 2, roll the foot out onto its side, drop down onto your forearms. I'm going to pulse out there for 5. We're going to bring it back up and onto your hands, hands in line with that right foot. Keeping the left shoulder locked back and the chest tall, I want you to sink into the right elbow. Drive the left hand hard into the ground as you rotate open towards that right hip. Hand towards the ceiling. Sinking back down and into the elbow. Rotating open. And one more, we'll sink into that right elbow. Driving the left hand into the ground. Rotating open. So we're going to do that same hip opener, but on the left side now. So starting in that half kneeling stretch, knees at 90, we want to bring the hip bones up towards the rib cage so that we're not extending out of the back, squeezing that right glute to open up through the hip, holding that stretch there for a second. We're then going to drive that left knee over the third toe, still squeezing at that right glute to open up through the right hip. Try not to forget to keep that stretch going. We're going to drive the hips back, heel into the ground, and toes up towards you to bring that into the hamstring. Coming forward. Shooting back. Driving forward. And we'll shoot back once more. Now moving the hands forward and in line with that left foot. Chest tall for level 1. Pulsing the knee out to open up through the external hip. If that's enough for you, that's fine and we'll stay there. If you want to intensify the stretch, let's turn the foot out onto the side, drop it down and onto our elbows, and we're going to pulse that hip open from there. So we're looking to do 5 here. Coming back up and onto the hands, still in line with that left foot, keeping the chest tall by rolling that right shoulder back. We're going to sink down and into the left elbow, and then pressing that right hand into the ground as we rotate open towards the left side. And we're going to do that twice more. So back down and into the elbow, rotating open, and once more. Hopefully by the end of today's flexibility session, you're feeling a lot freer through the hips and the upper back. I'd encourage you to give this a go 2 or 3 times a week, just to help to reverse that posture, both of being on the bike and training indoors, as well as now working from home in a less than optimal position.